Greetings, YouTube. So, this whole Lee thing has got way out of control. I have been, I guess, attacked by YouTube. YouTube has taken down one of my videos. They don't like me talking about what Lee is talking about. So, I can't use words on every little bit of it. But Lee is somewhere past 80 emails back and forth to me. And I'm more even curious as to who watches my videos. So I will leak out a little piece of information and it'll tell me if Lee is watching this or not. But I recently had an operation, and it was somewhat unsuccessful. It was successful, but there was a surprise. It was supposed to be for a hernia, and it turned out that, yeah, that all went very well. But there is a large growth in my stomach, not my stomach, above my intestine, above my belly button. So, I'm going to have the doctor measure it to make sure it's the right size. And I want to see if Lee actually hears this information and understands that my health isn't great. But we'll find out. In any case, here, let's have a look at what Lee is talking about. He is talking about the Prime Minister and his words. This is the latest email from Lee. Lee has figured out that the Prime Minister talked about the Great Reset. About a reset. Yeah. So I just want, the Prime Minister of Canada said it was about a reset. Yeah, and I don't want to say too much because they'll take down the video. And he seems to misunderstand. I don't think he listened to what the Prime Minister said. I'm curious where he gets his information. And here he says it's the one world government. It is not. They never claimed to be the one world government. And this is why he's using Klaus Schwab. Okay. So then yeah, okay. So it's just sort of wild here. Like, I don't understand, Lee, where you got any of your information. Like, where do you get the concept that Trudeau, he talked about the reset, yes. Where do you get the concept that he said these things? These aren't the things he said. It's not about any one world government. And I don't understand, you go on and on and on, and you give all these Bible verses. So I'm not going to go through every email that Lee sends me because we're past 80. So let's have a look here. The reset. I had no idea what he was talking about. Globalists and resets and all this craziness. So I'm going to switch the web page, and we are going to have to move over just slightly. Don't get dizzy. And we're going to, this is what Trudeau said. This pandemic has provided an opportunity for a reset. So far from what Lee was talking about. This is our chance to accelerate our pre-pandemic efforts to reimagine economic systems that actually address challenges like extreme poverty, inequity, and climate change. And after Trudeau I think we're in a time of anxiety where people are looking for reasons for things that are happening to them. They will fall prey to disinformation. So, now I've looked it up in other places, and part of what I see with this reset that they're talking about is, and something I've been talking about for a long time. We're in this disposable society where we buy things and throw them away like in 6 months. And you buy a car this year and you're going to get a new car next year and a year after that. And that's coming to an end. And we don't have the resources for it, nor do we need to do it. And they're talking about distributing more wealth to the impoverished people, and how that would look and what you would do. And what it means is, like, let's say, take Lee, your job, and you work and you get paid, and you work X amount of hours and you get paid X amount. Why is it that if you were in a third world country, you would be basically at a starvation level? You could work the same amount of work and get almost nothing for it. So then, Lee, when you say to me that these people have been hit so hard, and I am asking you, do you mean our luxuries, our restaurants? Like, yeah, small business restaurants have been hit hard, but business owners? We don't have a business owner that I can see that's going under. In fact, even the restaurants aren't going under. I am hard pressed to see what our economic tragedy is. There are no grandparents dying. Like, well, I guess, there are grandparents dying, but not at any unusual rate. And so there is no extreme reason to get all worked up. Like, take a look at it. Like, you see, we are in a society right now where we live with every conceivable luxury. And these people that are in third world countries barely can exist doing the same level of work that we're doing. And there's no reason why they can't be paid a fair wage. But you don't get that for them to get a fair wage, it's going to come at a cost to us. It'll mean, in reality, that the value of our dollar will be less, and the value of their dollar will grow. And it's morally the right thing to do. Why shouldn't they get a decent value for their work? So yes, we're going to have to take some hardship, but it's not really hardship. You're going to lose some luxury, and we're going to have to build quality products. There's no reason to dispose of a car early. Places like Cuba have got cars on the road running 50 years. There's no reason we can't do it. There's no reason for our landfills to be growing like they are, with especially with consumer products that, like electronics, that they are disposed of working. We throw them away. And there is no reason for companies like Apple and Android to brick their phones and their tablets. I have a tablet right now that's been what I call bricked. It means you can't pick it up and go to the Play Store and get any new apps on it. They make it impossible to do anything on the tablet so that you have to buy a new tablet. They want to continue the revenue stream. And this isn't acceptable, that you would throw away a tablet that's working because this company wants to make some extra cash. They're going to have to find a different way to do this. And that's part of what Trudeau is talking about. And I've read some other stuff on this reset concept, and I haven't got it up here, but they are talking about a new way to value debt. And that's another big problem, that worldwide there is too much debt. So, yeah, they want to make a worldwide system of handling issues better, like debt and pandemics and different things that the world deals with now, because this world stage is changing. And to me, it's obvious. The other part to the world change is the United States does not have the power it once had. It doesn't have the backing that it used to have. And with this last Trump thing where they were going in and into Congress and this whole, it scared the entire world. And countries like Germany looked at it and said, like, look, how is this different from the Nazis? Like, we are not going to support a United States that would consider a dictator. And they realize that there's a percentage of the population that would rather have a dictator than democracy. If that's the case, you cannot be the world policeman. They won't support it. And so you say, oh, they don't need Germany's support. You need the entire world's support for the United States to continue. The United States is not doing this on their own revenue. The United States has been going on since World War II. What they have been doing is they are the dollar of trade, instead of a sleight of hand, a sort of a magic trick. What that means is every country around the world that wants to trade in any goods must trade in American dollars. What it means is it's very hard for anyone to understand how many American dollars there are in the world. And so the American dollar gets a certain value because everybody uses it, and everybody has confidence in it, but it's not based on the amount of dollars. This means the United States can print as many dollars as they wish. And that's coming to an end. It's coming to an abrupt end. Germany has said no. And I think you're going to find other countries will as well. So when they talk about this great reset, or this reset, and this global thing, we had a global economy, a one world government. It was the United States. They were running this one world government. And they are proving to be, because of Trump, and because of these, it's not Trump himself, it's because people radically want a dictator. And that is what scares the entire world. People in the United States would want to install a dictator, be it Trump or be it anybody else. This scares the entire world, and they say, look, we don't want a dictator. We want a democracy running the entire world, not a dictator. And as long as the rest of the world doesn't have confidence that you can act in a much more decent manner, and the values the entire world has, the United States has a different set. So now you're looking at the rest of the world just giving the ultimatum to the United States, and the United States saying no way, and something's going to give. Anyways, Lee, give me a shout out if you can understand that I've got something bad going on, and I'd like to see if you actually watch my videos to the end. Thanks, YouTube.